Oh, Nick Nation, stand up. Nick Nation, stand up. KOD Universe, what it do? And all you DJs, wake up and get your coffee. Welcome to this Wednesday, November 30th episode of the Knicks Morning Brew. We got a special guest joining us in a little bit. And I'm your guy, Hector, chilling with my bros, Phil and Jigga. Bros, what it do?
What up? Chilling.
Bro. Chilling, baby.
I'm excited, man. Oh, I see Sir Pizza in the chat. What up, Pizza? You know what?
Sir Pizza, what it do?
Yo, shout out to Sir Pizza. Just brought a new little one home. Congratulations, Pizza. He got a little baby boy pizza in the crib now.
Yes,
guys,
yes. We got bite-sized pepperoni in the house.
Right. We got a lot of Knicks talk.
Yes, we do.
We got Knicks to talk about. We got our boy Ja Rule coming on the show today. Come on now.
Yes, sir.
And you know what? Can I show this off real quick? Check it out.
Go ahead. Do your thing.
Ain't no stopping. OB topping. Unless you Tom Thibodeau.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to the guys from Homage. If you guys can, the link is in the description below. Use the code Morning Brew on your purchase. Make sure you pick something up from Homage because they have really, really, really great merch in their store, whether it's Knicks stuff, Yankee stuff, Giant stuff, Jet stuff, any New York City sports team you need, the guys at Homage got it for you.
Yeah, man. I love the shirt. I love that they're doing a giveaway with us. You know, all because we copped some shirts that we like. Next thing you know, they're like, yo, we like what you guys are doing. And now we're all, you know, they're like, hey, how about a giveaway for your fans? I was like, yay, Phil hooking it up with them. So pretty dope. Actually, you know what? Can I play this video real quick?
Go ahead, play it, baby.
Yeah,
so go for it. Go for it.
What it do, Nick Nation? What it do? KOD Universe, stand up. And all you DJs, wake up and get your coffee.
I'ma slam on these goats like I'm John Starks. I'ma slam on these goats like I'm John Starks. I'ma slam on these goats like I'm John Starks. I'ma slam on these goats.
Yo. Come on. That video's dope. That Starks track.
Fire.
Yeah. Shout out to Homage and Playbook. Those are two of our sponsors. Playbook, like Hector just showed you, are those coasters, our mugs that we use every single week. Both of them are sponsoring us, and they are also doing a giveaway for our Julito episode on December 14th, where he'll showcase his new album. So shout out to both of them. Please check them out. Links are in the descriptions. And they're just good people, and they deserve, you know, the support of us as well. So we thank them so much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got the guys from VSN in the chat. Trippy OG, what it do, my guys?
So, Hector, take it away, bro. Let's jump into some Knicks talk. Ooh. I mean, I don't feel like anybody's doing backflips after last night, but, you know, let's get into it.
Well, you know, right off the back, shout out to Julius Randle for, you know, the more he plays like that, the more his trade value is just building up, you know, because just build your trade value up and let's send you over somewhere to Phoenix or someplace else, you know, just like Jiggaman with the slow clap for Julius Randle. Slow clap.
He's getting the slow clap because it was his birthday, right? The trade value is going up. Congratulations. He came in with that it's my birthday Power Ranger energy where he came in what was it, like 9 threes in the first quarter?
He definitely did. He definitely had checks. He had Green Ranger energy. That's what he had going into the game. Go ahead, Phil. What's your take from yesterday?
Yeah, man. You know, shout out to Randle. You know, like we always say, we got no beef with him as a person. He played a great game. But regardless, you know, like you see a lot, especially on the Twitter feeds where people are like, oh, Randle can drop 60 and, you know, you haters are still going to want him gone next week. has nothing to do with hate. It has to do with what fits our team, what doesn't fit our team, what fits our future. He's a good player, would be better on a different squad for us and for him. So shout out to Randall. He played well. Feliz cumpleaños. Thank you so much. We got a dub, but I don't think it's a dub that, we should be thankful. Every dub is a good dub. But there's still things that, need to be different. Like we won, but once again, we were playing against a Pistons team who is very much without their stars. And, we played really, really well. There were some highs, not a ton of lows, but I want to see if we can match that kind of energy going into the game tonight. So before I go into like what I thought was like the highlights of last night, Hector, what were your highlights from last night?
My highlights from last night, even though Jigga, he has that shirt on about Obi Toppin, Obi Toppin finally knocking down some threes because he went through a nice, a little cold spell, 3 for 27 from beyond the arc. And last night, I think he was like 3 of 6, if I'm not mistaken, or 3 of 5 from beyond the arc. So Obi Toppin had a phenomenal game off the bench last night. As well, some good highlights. Quentin Grimes is out there. It seems like he started to get his feet under him. Having a slow start, was injured during the preseason and early parts of the season. So it finally seems like he has his legs under him. So as long as Quentin Grimes is building up his stamina, I really like seeing him out there alongside Cam Reddish as well. Cam Reddish, like we've talked about on the show, he has won that starting rotation spot, and he deserves that starting rotation shot. So those are some big key moments for me last night.
I'll give you my quick take. I can't get excited about us beating the Pistons. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm glad it was by 30 points. You know what I'm saying? Because the first time we played them, it was 12 points.
A win's a win.
A win's a win. But if we're letting the Pistons without stars throw up 110 on us, the story is the same. Our defense is abysmal. Like we cannot. Every team is caught on that. You can just pass that ball out on the three. They just give them that extra pass. There's not going to be a Nick there to cover you. So letting them throw up another 110 points on us, that upsets me. Like, I can't get excited about that. Can I get excited about some of the pieces and the stuff that we've seen from some of our guys? Yeah, we can dive into that more. But, guys, let's take a pause real quick on last night's game because, we got the man, the myth, the legend himself backstage ready to chop it up. Our boy, Ja Rule, what's good,
Ja? What it do, baby?
What up? The gang is in the building. What's happening?
Yes, sir.
Fellas?
Chilling, baby. Good morning. Good morning.
No doubt.
Appreciate you making time, bro. Taking care of a fellow Knight of Dejan. Appreciate
the
you.
Dejan is in the building. Yeah, my that's my nickname on my gambling betting sites, man. I'm the Dejan, baby.
Yes.
Well, which way to start it off better? A morning with a round table of some Dejans, right? Talking about some Knicks, right?
Yeah, man. Man, those Knicks. We looking decent this year, though, man. I'm not mad at the way we look this year. I'm really not.
Yeah.
Got to keep the young boys out there playing, though. Man, got to get Toppin out there quickly. Go in with Brunson. I like this guy. You got to get that young squad running and moving, man.
Well, Ja, you was around for the 90 Knicks. I'm a little bit younger or whatever, but you brought up Brunson, right? It's been a long time since the Knicks have had an actual point guard to run the show like Brunson. We had Starberry back in the days for a little bit.
Yeah.
We had Mark Jackson back in the days. What's your thoughts when it comes to Jalen Brunson so far in this early part of the season, my guy?
Man, JB the truth, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a true point guard, but he can put it in the bucket, and that's what we really need in New York. We need somebody. New York is a flashy town, man, and coming out of New York, point guards is really that's always been our thing is having a strong point guard. So I'm happy that we got Jalen. But them surrounding pieces, man, we gotta I like Robinson too. I like Robinson in the middle. Like I said, I like the young unit, of the Knicks. I like that young core when they in and they running. And younger players are more acceptable to playing defense. you know, it's easy to get them to play both sides of the floor. You know, they're young, they're fresh, you know, so.
Yeah, I'll agree with that, Job.
That a little easier.
Yeah, I mean, perfect example, right? Look at IQ, right? When that, even with his knee soreness, everything, right? He still comes out there, both sides of the ball. He's hungry. That you can see that they're trying to prove that they want to earn their keep, which, you know, for me always leads to the point that we got to coach. But we'll get into that. Ja, I gotta ask you, man, when did your fandom and love for the Knicks? Like, when was that time frame for you?
Man, I've been a Knicks fan since the Jordan era, before the Jordan era. I don't know. I played basketball my whole life, so you know, I've been a Knicks fan for I guess basically my whole life. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, being from Queens, Ja, how was that, you know, going back and forth to the Garden, you know, because Queens, you know, it is a part of the 5 boroughs, but it's a really far part of the 5 boroughs, right? So how was it growing up being able to go back and forth to the Garden?
To the Garden until I was grown and I was making records. You know.
Oh, my bad. I made it to the Garden because of my records I had to perform. I didn't have a good way to get to the Garden, Ja.
Until those times, but you know, yeah, man. I remember one time my aunt took me to a Garden. A Knicks game at the Garden. It was Knicks versus the Bulls, and she took me to see Michael Jordan play. It was actually the game when Jordan swatted the ball into the 3rd row on Ewing. So it's always good to have like a memorable. And I got pictures from that game too. Like as a kid, I got, you know, those. I gotta find them. You know what I mean? Those are really dope, memorable pictures. I went down like to the court during halftime and got like really close up pictures of Mike dunking and stuff like that. You know, those, you never forget those moments. But that was my first Knicks game ever, and you know, I've been a Knicks fan ever since. But like every other Knicks fan, man, I've been. It's hard, man. It's hard being a Knicks fan. You know, I wasn't even born when they won their last championship. So, you know, it's one of those things, you know.
Yeah, you know, as you know, guys who listen, you know, to your music, you know, it's cool to actually have you on the show. But for me, the main reason is you get a lot of stars that go to the Garden. You know, like they live in New York, they go to the games. But when doing a show like this, you want actual fans of the game, you know, and I know you take away some of the endless bank accounts, and those guys or girls are not going to be sitting front row at the Garden, you know, like or following the game. But one thing I wanted to ask you, so I read an article years ago, and when you're reading, you know, about celebrities and whatnot, you never know what's real, what's not. But there's an article talking about your fandom for the Knicks, and how there was a time where you were actually serving time, yet you made sure that while you were serving, you watched every single Knicks game that season. Like, is that true? Is that the diehard fan that we got right now?
Nah, that's facts, man. Yo, let me tell you, man. There was almost days we was getting into arguments and fights over them games, man. Nah, y'all not gonna do that. We watching basketball right now.
Yeah, the barbershop talk could go real emotional when it comes to these Knicks, bro.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, I was. It's funny. I was actually locked up with Allen Hevesy, which is the New York State controller. He was the state controller of New York. And he's a diehard Knicks fan, and he was my basketball partner when we played outside. He was like 60 years old, had a jump shot from heaven, baby. We was killing him. We was out there killing him.
I love it.
You know, but you know, you talked about it's hard being a Knicks fan, right? Because they haven't won since, you know, black and white TVs were in favor and stuff like that, right? But one thing about being a Knicks fan is, right, you know, is that you wind up being like one of the greatest husbands of all time or one of the best pops of all time, because as a Knicks fan, right, it shows that you can love something unconditionally and not expect anything back in return, honestly.
Oh, so good.
It's a true statement. I get it all the time.
It's so funny. I once I think it was, I want to say the Preakness. It was at one of the horse races, and they had me on Channel 2, and I'm picking the horse to win the race. and one of the horses was named like, I think it was named like the Knickerbocker or the Knicks. It was named like after the Knicks. And the other horse was named it was something like Live Your Life or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. And so I was supposed to pick this horse of who's gonna win the race, and these are the two favorites. And at first, I was gonna go with the Knicks, the horse that was named the Knicks, because I'm a diehard Knicks fan. And then I said to myself, they've never won for me in all of my years. America, I will not do this. I will not drag you down my road of pain. And so I think it was Live Your Life or some shit. I was like, yo, we're gonna live our life, and we're going with this horse. And the Live Your Life won, and everybody was so happy. You know what I'm saying? So thank you, Knicks. You finally won for me.
Right?
You finally won for me. You made me pick the right Knick.
I was like, don't tell me you picked the Knick horse. Don't do it, Shaun.
No, I picked the other horse because the Knicks never won for me.
Oh, man. See, that's a story right there, you know, because I don't know. If it was me, I probably would have been like, I got to go with the Knicks, right?
Yo,
So,
at first, that was my first thought. I got to go with my Knicks. This is a sign. Then the other sign hit me like, they've never won. I've rooted for these guys my whole life, and they've never won. I said, you know what? I'm going to switch this one time. This has nothing to do with basketball. These are horses. I'm going to pick the other horse and see what happens. We cashed in, baby.
You came in and you cashed out for that one. Yeah,
that's live and learn right there, right? That's that. Hold on a second. Like reality kicked in. It was like, nope, not today.
Nah, but Ja, I question though, you know, because us fans, you know, when it comes to the front office, right? We're on the outside looking in, right? You got Leon Rose, Worldwide Rest. Worldwide Rest, he comes from, you know, the music industry.
That's my brother.
Like
Big
that.
shout to Worldwide West.
I was going to ask you this perfect question, and for that, can you give us the a step into like the thought process of Worldwide West? You know, how he carries himself, and you know, behind the scenes, you know, what's his leadership like?
I mean, West is the man. He you know, these players, they really respect West. I was very happy when I heard that West was coming over to, you know, the Knicks, because, you know, we have our issue is not with New York. It's with the culture of the team. You know what I mean? People don't like to play for Dolan for whatever reason. And I've met, you know, Dolan too. He seems like a good guy. You know, I don't know the inner workings. I don't know his business workings, but you know, he has that rep. You know what I mean? And so players don't want to come here and play for that reason. And so it's like when West came in, I was very happy to see that, because players respect West. They know West is a good dude. You know, they know he cares about the players, and he's a player first type of managerial type of, you know, a guy. And so I'm hoping that, you know, that translates down the road into getting, you know, better, you know, players, and, you know, people, you know, want to trade to come here, and you know, we got money. We just, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Like, imagine that. New York Knicks have all the history, and then the fucking Brooklyn Nets got all the players. Like that was like the biggest slap in the face to New York. Like, huh? Like y'all gotta give the Knicks. That's the history. It's not the same playing for Brooklyn. And I go to both games. I go to the Brooklyn Nets games. I go to the New York Knicks game. It's not the same. People root for KD. People root for Kyrie. Yes, they do that. People rooted for Harden, but it's player driven. Those fans are player driven. When those players leave, they're leaving too. It's not. It's not a real culture there, and you feel it when those games get close, and you need that fan support. That, you know, that sixth man on the court. You need that support from the fans, and it's like it's tougher to get that, you know, in the Brooklyn Stadium than when you on in the Garden. The Garden, the Knicks can be losing by 30, and we like, come on, we can do it.
Yeah,
it's a different, you know, thing.
It goes to the presentation of, when you talk about Madison Square Garden, because when you're at the Knicks game, right, James Dolan, as much as, fans want to hate on him or not, but he has it set up when it comes to the lighting that when you're watching a Knicks game, it's like you're at a Broadway show just because of how things are lit up. When you go to the Brooklyn Nets, it's not the same thing at the Barclays Center, just like you said, bro.
Right. Yeah, it's just a different vibe, different feeling. Now, I do love the food over at both places.
Josh said, I'm here to be honest with y'all today.
I'm going to be honest now.
But you know what? You said it best, Ja, because people don't want to play for Dolan, right? We also now have a coach where, again, not bashing the man for as a person, but coaching-wise, that time is over. Like, we got to move on from Tibbs.
We should have took Mark Jackson. I don't know what the fuck we're doing. Mark Jackson is our guy. Dolan, if you're listening, Wes, if y'all listening, Mark is our guy. Yo, let me tell you, as a kid, I played in Mark Jackson tournaments in Queens and Astoria. You gotta have Mark Jackson as our guy, man. I'm telling you, the whole city would be fucking ignited, man.
I agree with that.
Great coach.
My question for you, though, because he's got a history of being a great coach.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before. Do you think with the way that the NBA is currently going, though, and the new style of play, that Mark Jackson is adaptable enough to kind of switch his mindset to new basketball? Like,
all right, we gotta think about it this way, right? Golden State is Mark Jackson's team, minus maybe Draymond Green, right? I think he had who did he have before Draymond? He had who we had on the Knicks. I can't think of his name right now.
Talking about Crawford when we traded Crawford over to
No.
State?
He was a 2020 guy, man. Rebounder.
Oh, David Lee. You talking about David Lee?
Yeah.
David Lee. Yeah. When
David Lee was over at Golden State. He was basically, that was the nucleus of the team, right? They drafted that team. But beyond that, the system that they play, that movement, that moving without the ball, the way Steph and Clay and these guys, now granted they're the best shooters in the game, but the way they move off the ball, there's other teams that are trying to mirror that, and then the way they move, the movement. I think that's what makes Golden State very, very dangerous. It's that movement.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If he came to the Knicks and gave us that kind of movement, that kind of play, I think it'll work very well with those young players. But I don't know if that's Mark's system or not. But if it was, the whole NBA is basically trying to mirror that right now. So why wouldn't we let Mark come in and try to give?
Anything's got to be better than Tibbs. I don't care what anybody says.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. I think the fear, like when you hear Mark's name, is you just think of those old heads, right? So you start thinking, are we going to run into another situation where we got someone who's stuck in their ways and holds back our young core and development?
Something had to happen with Mark. That's maybe a little over what we know.
Right, Mr. Blackballed at this point, right?
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense that he put together that kind of team with that kind of system, offensive system, and nobody's even looking at him for a job. They didn't even interview him. It just doesn't make sense.
Also, too, it could be a comfortability factor when it comes to Mark Jackson, because he does do the broadcasting for TNT, right? So he does do a lot of the games. And if you look at his salary, he's getting like 1.2 just from calling the game. So if there's a team out there that want to hire him out as a coach, they're going to have to come with more than what he's getting paid right now as an announcer. At the end of the day, money talk and BS walks, when it comes to it. But I agree with you. I think, when it comes to Mark Jackson, he definitely would be able to adapt to this form of the NBA, especially way better than what Tibbs has been adapting to it. Because Tibbs is supposed to be a defensive coach, and there ain't no defensive schemes happening.
Defense is looking terrible. Defense is looking terrible.
And if Mark Jackson is the one that implemented that movement, you see some of the young guys, like watching Grimes these last 2 games or 3 games, like watching the way Grimes wants to move without the ball, yet he seems like the odd man out from our group. If that was like the standard, he would thrive. A player like him would thrive. It would allow players like RJ not to always have to ISO and try to create shots that he's not going to make because it's out of his pocket, So if that was Jackson, that would be awesome. But we need
you
something.
You got to do that
happen.
style with younger players because older players don't want to move that much. It's
just facts. It's father time. That's how it works.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm here to help you facilitate and get better. You guys do all the running around and craziness. Let me be the old man in here holding it down. That's how it should be.
That's it.
What up, Worldwide L in the chat? I want your take, Ja, and we had people throwing some questions in there, so we'll check those here shortly in the chat. And real quick, appreciate everybody in the chat, man, coming through.
Yeah,
all
definitely.
You Knights, all you Knicks Nation.
Yeah.
Ja, what is your thoughts on Julius Randle, bro? I need your take on Julius. Are you let's keep Julius? Are you keep doing good, Julius, so we can trade you? Or are you what the hell is going on with you, Julius?
If I was running the front office, I would have traded Julius maybe 2 seasons ago when he had his great season. I love Julius Randle, but I knew he wasn't the guy for the job in New York, and we could have got some good pieces for him when he had that really good season, and then he came back that next season and have such a great season, and it was kind of like, see, I fucking knew it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was saying to myself.
No, but
I do love Julius Randle. I just felt like, he kind of shocked everybody with his play. And that, by the time the next year came around, when coaches and defensive coaches could really, really zone in on him, and every night now the fucking defense's schemes are around him, I just felt like it wasn't going to be the same Julius Randle, and I was right. He wasn't the same guy getting, having to deal with double teams every night. But that's fine. You know what I mean? Every player is not that player. And I think Julius, he had to adapt to that and even get more help would have been better for him. But yeah, I would have traded Julius probably after that year, got some good pieces for him, or got some good draft picks, and we'd have probably been set up a little bit better right now going forward.
Yeah, and I've said it multiple times, especially, that's the season that they drafted Obi Toppin, right? So for them to draft Obi Toppin and not trade Julius Randle, to me, it shows lack of front office cohesion, right?
Yeah.
There was some people that were probably on the fence of keeping Julius, and some people that probably wanted to trade Julius Randle away. They should have handled it like the Clippers handed Tobias Harris, right? Because when Tobias Harris was going off, that's the season that they traded him to Philadelphia for Tyrese Maxey and for other players.
Yeah, you can't really worry about what you're losing, as much as what you're gaining.
Yeah.
Because that's the reason why you're making the trade in the first place. You know what I'm saying? I need this more than I need this, and so as valuable as this is to me, that is going to be more valuable to me in the future. So, that's why I make the trade. People get wrapped up in the now. The Knicks are not going to win now. You know what I'm saying? So we got to plan for a future for the Knicks, and it should have been being done, long ago. When we had good assets to get draft picks and to get players. But listen, if I'm Dolan, and if you're listening, James, I love you, brother. If I'm Dolan, I'm always gonna, with the reputation that I have, you got to recognize it. Sometimes you got to look in the mirror and say, all right, fuck it. People don't like me, great. But you know what you can't stop? You can't stop me from drafting great players. So here's what I'm going to do. When I trade my pieces, I want draft picks. I don't need the guy that's going to help me win right now because he's not going to want to come play for me. I get it. Fuck you too. But these draft picks, you have no choice. And I'm going to draft the greatest team, and I'm going to hire the best coach to fucking coach these kids up. And now I have something coming down the pipe in the next 3 to 5. Hey, yo, James, hey, listen, man. Give me a call, baby. If you need some help.
That's it.
Commissioner John, let's go.
Get John that front office ASAP.
Yo, what's so funny, guys, is I feel like their front office just overthinks everything. Like, I feel like someone needs to just go with it. Maybe it's you, Ja. Maybe you need to go to them and be like, let me show you something elementary. It's called a pros and cons list. Real simple. Just put a line down the whiteboard and just write pros and cons and be like, Julius Randle, fill out. If this con side has more than your pro side, that's it. No more talking, no more thinking. Move on.
It's really simple. Is he the future of the New York Knicks? No. Okay, then he's got to go. I love him, but we got. This is a business decision, man. This ain't got nothing to do with nothing. And so I don't know, man. The Knicks could be a lot better, I think, right now in this moment. I think they could be a lot better with the players that they have.
Yeah.
They're not playing. Yeah. They're not giving the right guys minutes. Obi Toppin should be getting a lot more minutes.
No, definitely. Yep.
You're getting a lot more minutes, man. He's a springboard.
But it goes back to what you said, Ja. It goes back to when they re-signed Randle. Like, you literally, with that re-sign, you set Obi back. Period. Like, it's not you might have, you set him back. And then you're not giving him time. And then when he's in there, even if he does do well, he gets pulled out. Yeah, I mean, he just made 2 3-pointers, come out of the game. Like,
the NBA is also a business. I'm not sitting 100 and something million down for,
Well, you can't say that no more. Fournier's butt is on the bench now. Amen. Sorry.
We love the French eye.
I thought that was a good. I like Evan Fournier.
I did as well at the beginning.
I was a 48 fan. I thought that was going to be a good situation, but obviously it wasn't.
In the right situation, it probably would have worked out, right? When it comes to Evan Fournier, if he was surrounded by guys who play defense, it'll be able to work out. But when you have a team that lacks defensive pressure, right, that lacks defensive strategy, Evan Fournier he stands out like a sore thumb, and the opposing team's going to go after him 24 out of 10 times out of 10.
Yo, real quick, guys. Phil, real quick. Yeah. And I want you to touch on this. I'm going to let you start with this one. But I saw in the chat where it said Obi is way too soft to play power forward. And I kind of want to touch on that since we're talking Obi for a second, because that's one of those statements I kind of agree with. And then he doesn't have the shot and dribble to be like a small forward, right? So how do you guys see it, Phil? Like, how do you see Obi being utilized the right way?
Yeah, here's the thing. Like, when you look at players, when they are getting time, they are able to notice in themselves what is lacking and what they have to fix. Like, just being on the outside, pointing it out doesn't really change that. You look at when Giannis came in. Giannis was not the Giannis that we know now. He was not this tank of a man who could just take over a game. He was a lot scrawnier. He needed, opportunities. And as he realized the players that he was going up against, he realized that he needed to make those improvements. He hit the gym. He made those changes. And so to just say that, okay, how's this guy going to learn what needs to be changed if he's not getting any opportunities? Like, put him on the floor, let him get muscled around a little bit by some power forwards and see that he has to bulk up. But you're killing the kid's confidence. That's not going to make him go, I got to continue to be better. I have a future and a hope. It's just continuing to make him shrink back. So, yes, he is a small dude, and I do think he needs to bulk up, but I also think that's going to come with time. Like, most of the players who wound up being big body power forwards bulked up. Like, even Randle over the summer bulked up. He was looking a little chunky last year. Like, he hit the gym this year. So I think that's just like a premature statement. Look at Kyle Lowry. He was a little chunker, and everyone was like, "Oh, this chunker can't do it. He's too chunky." And boy started being a better player again than he was before. So that's just visuals. I think the effort and the heart are going to matter more than just the physical physique.
Give Obi one off season with Ja. Get him on a nice regimen. I think Ja will be able to get get him yoked up enough.
I have Obi looking like new money.
Yes, I don't know if y'all saw. You got Ja. Did y'all see Ja having to resuscitate the microphone video the other day? I saw that, Ja.
That was in Jamaica, man. I had a good time out there.
Awesome. Nah, but one thing that James Dolan has to understand, right, is that us fans, and Ja, you could probably attest to this, we're going to be loyal no matter what. Like you said, we could be down by 30 points in the Garden and we're still room for the team to come back, right?
Yeah,
so James Dolan has to understand that us as a fan base, we are loyal to this team. If they tell us, we're going to take the next 3 to 4 years to build through the draft properly, we're going to support you 100%. It's just when you try to put the blinders over us and try to, put a little band-aids here and there and like, hey, oh, you're going to be competitive or whatever. No, it's either you go full rebuild or you try to get one of these superstars, and the superstar route, it hasn't worked out. So we got to go through the draft.
But
and the rebuild.
let me tell you, I think that's been the gift and the curse with the Knicks, as a fan base. We are so loyal. Dolan knows.
Oh. Remix, wicked. And Josh.
Am I there? Yeah, we have been so loyal. He knows that his money is good. The Garden's always packed. It's always sold out. So it's like whether he does or he doesn't, he's good. His bag is good, and I think that's the gift and the curse with the Knicks. Listen, man, it never hurts to have a little bit of friendly competition, and right now the Brooklyn Nets, they have a tremendous star power team.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I go to Brooklyn games, in the first place. You know what I mean? Because they have great players. If they win a championship, Dolan, you might have problems, man. You might. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say problems like that, but people will migrate. People will, go over to the other side, over to the dark side, baby. And I might be one of them. Nah, I'm fucking with. I'm New York till I die, but man, it would be so tempting if they start winning championships in Brooklyn, man. God damn.
Especially with these young kids nowadays.
I can see it now, Hector. We get a message from Ja. He'd be like, "Hey, I need y'all to delete that episode where I was talking about how I love the Knicks." Right?
You know what it is?
All in New York.
Ja's gonna start the Nets Morning Brew show. That's what it is. He's gonna start the Nets Morning Brew show.
Let me tell you, we're all full of shit. Because this is how we do with the Giants, the Jets, even Buffalo. The New York will stand up for Buffalo if they go right now to the championship. So we know how we do it. So I'm not, it is what it is.
Yeah, you get the Rangers in the Stanley Cup. Now everybody's a hockey fan. I remember that was me when the Rangers were in the Stanley Cup.
Exactly.
I ain't know what ice it was, and I'm rooting for the Rangers.
You give us.
For real, everybody walking around with Gretzky shirts.
We riding, baby. Yes.
Yeah, the Red Bulls win a championship. You see me with a Red Bull jerseys.
Red Bull.
Smoking Nick. So ride with Julius Randle if you're loyal. Come on.
Nah, bro. Get out of here.
So I want to switch it up a second here, Ja. What's going on with the icon stuff, man? Like I see that's taking off. A lot of news going on. Let's talk about that. If you don't mind.
I mean, I'm building my new platform, man. My new network, if you will. It's an app in the Apple App Store, and now it's a network you can get in the Apple TV Store. Will be an Android TV Store and all TiVos really soon. It's a lot of fun, man. Being able to be creative in another space. Music is always my first love, obviously, but being able to create content like Vibes concert series and my new series that I'm coming with, Laughing It Up, which is like my new Def Comedy Jam type of vibe, and being able to help give other people opportunities like my Lyrics and Lattes vidcast that I'm doing now with those guys, with Jason and his team. It's really, really fun, and it's just like a new journey for me, man. A new challenge that I'm feeling like this is gonna be my path for the next 5-10 years to work towards making this company really, really special.
That's dope. Yeah, I mean, I'll share it with people. But when I spoke to John last week, boy, John's excited about Future Icon, boy. I mean, he got me excited. I was like, I almost walked out, got eye contact too. It got weird.
There's a lot going on with the company, so I'm definitely excited. I'm definitely happy and proud. It's not easy. You gotta have conviction when you doing something that's new and people are not used to it. you know, like with your show, you know, I know when you guys first started, you know, you started with a certain amount of viewership and for a certain amount of, you know, followers, to what you're doing, and it's growing over time, and it's going to keep growing. It's the same thing with anything else, you know, like with Icon. I came to the conclusion that why should I spend days and hours and any time, you know, trying to get followers on anybody else's social media website? What if I built my own thing and put that same time and effort into, you know, getting people to come be a part of my community and what I'm building? It's way more valuable if I get 1 million people on Icon than to get 1 million followers on any platform. So
that's dope.
You just had the legend Rakim like on your Vibe series, right? Like who's next?
Absolutely.
Like what's in the pipeline?
You know what's crazy? I got a calendar that's I call it my secret calendar, because I got a lot of acts that, you know, have been hitting me and seeing it, and then they like it. They're into it, man. They you know, want to be a part of what I'm doing, and I'm so honored to and blessed to have that response, you know. But now it's getting like, okay, hold up, guys. I don't want to. I'm into like March or April right now for my next vibes, and so I don't want to put guys too far down on the calendar, like, you know. So it's, you know, these are legends calling me and shit. I'm like, yeah, I got you 2025. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta either ramp up production and do more, or figure out a way to, you know, because I'm kind of doing them like every other month now. Right. But the machine is getting a little well, you know, more well oiled, and it's able to run itself now, and so, you know, maybe I can probably push it to every month, but I don't know if I want to do it any more frequent than that. You know.
Yeah.
Now, John, I mean, just over the last year, I mean, everything going on with Icon, and then everything you're doing now in the Web3 space, right? With Nights of Degen, you also had the other drop with that art, was dope as well, and then everything you're doing for the city, man. Like, I mean, people don't realize it. Like, they hear the name Ja, but I don't think they realize the grind of everything you got going on. What do you got going on right now with the Web3 space? Like, are we still grinding a lot there too?
Yeah, for sure, man. You know, I got my Black is Beautiful project that you know, we're still working on. I'm actually about to do a dope music NFT with our community, with our Black is Beautiful community, and it's really cool. I'm allowing them to basically A&R my project, this record that I'm gonna do. So they're gonna come in and, you know, as a community, you're gonna pick the topic of what I'm gonna talk about, and you know, the whole thing, and we're gonna record this record together, and there'll be levels of them to be, you know, executive producers on the record, and so forth and so on, and, you know, so this is a real fun, challenging little project for me, but it's been going good, you know. Big up to House of First and you know, my painted house, you know, collective, and you know, everything is coming together really, really nice with the company. So
that's dope.
Web3's down right now, you know, the space is down right now, but you got to be up in spirit, you know. I look at it on the bright side, you know. It's still, ETH is still $1,000 for one. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
One ETH is still, even though we're used to it being 4,000. If you just came into the space, you know, $1,000 for one might look sexy to you. You know,
right?
You know,
exactly.
So,
but like
you
you said, the best part is just keep building, right? And that's what you're obviously doing in every facet, which is dope. Unlike our front office for the Knicks, they don't seem to want to do anything the right way. I'm telling you, after this episode, guys, it's apparent. We just need to tell Dolan to call Ja, okay? And then we also need to
give me a call, baby.
Yeah, and take all the takes from the people in the chat, because they are killing it today. All right, everybody going off. I gotta ask you, Ja. Is RJ Barrett the future for the Knicks? Is he our future star? How you feeling about RJ?
I like RJ a lot. I'm going to give RJ till next year. I think he's having a really great breakout season this year, and you know, he's starting to come into his own. I think next year is going to be the tell. If he's, you know, it's almost like Tatum. You know, you watch Tatum kind of come into his own, and now it's like he's that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's Barrett yet. I'm seeing flashes. I see flashes. It's, you know, it's like growing up in the hood, and then you have that one summer where you just grow the fuck up, and then like you're like that dude in the hood in the summer. He has to have that summer. I don't know. He hasn't had his summer yet. His summer might be this summer.
So what you're saying is his balls haven't dropped yet. We're waiting for that.
Yeah, you know, you gotta have
puberty is coming.
That epiphany where he feels like, fuck that. I'm taking over the league. I want the league. I want MVP. I want, you know, to be fucking top all-star votes in the East. I want these things. If you don't want those things for yourself, you're never going to be that. You got to be a little bit selfish to be great. That's what people don't understand. Greatness comes from fucking selfishness. It has to be about me. You have to have some narcissist in you. It has to, at some point, you got to say, fuck everybody else, and it's about me. I have to go for what I want. I have to it's with me. And if you don't have a little bit of me in you, you will never be the greatest. You will never even be thought of as the greatest, because everybody's going to mix you in with the rest of the bunch. You never stand out and say, fuck that. I'm the guy. I'm him. Mm. You have to stand up and say that at some point and fucking mean it and show it. You just can't say it. You got to back it up too. You know what I mean?
So do you think though, like, so from a hip hop mindset, totally get that. You know, like you got eras where like Cannabis puts out on, you know, a track that, you know, little disses at LL Cool J because he doesn't really care. Like he wants his verse to shine on that track, no matter what. Do you think it's a little different though when it comes to the NBA, because you got guys like Coach Thibodeau who is so focused on making Randall the guy that he's crippling everybody else, you know, like, so do you think that RJ could even have that mentality?
That don't stop the great. If you know you that guy, give me the ball, period. You're not supposed to have the ball in these moments. I am. So give it to me. Or I'm not giving it to you. That's it. When I get it, I'm going for it. If you don't give it to me in moments when I need it and when I think I should have it, then I'm not giving it to you. I'm going for these moments. It's so hard to, like, it's you know, in hip hop, I know you say it's like you get it in this post, but even in basketball, for me, it should be more of that. In sports, you should have that feeling even more, because it's your work ethic. Like, I can work as hard as I'm one of the hardest working artists in music, man. I work hard, man. But if the people don't like me, music is subjective. They don't have to like Ja Rule. I can work as hard as I want. I can work every day, 23 hours a day. And that won't matter in my craft if people don't accept what I'm doing or what I'm giving to them. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, but if I'm a ball player and I work 23 hours a day, I'm going to be nice. And you can't stop that. You can hate me. You can not like me. But I'm still going to bust your ass come game day. You know what I'm saying? That's the point. Yeah. And you're still going to have to pay me because I bust everybody's ass. So everybody can hate me. You know what I mean? And that's the difference of being an athlete. That's why I love being an athlete. Because I didn't have to make friends. You didn't have to fucking like me. Listen, so I used to play basketball when I was young. Love basketball. Then I realized this ain't all on me. It's a team sport. Like, I have to pass the ball to these guys. I got to get other guys involved. You know, when we lose as a team. I started boxing. I want it all on me. Win, lose, or draw, I want it all on me. I can sleep good at night knowing that I lost. Yeah. I'm pissed off if you lost for me. If I dropped 30 and and you gave me 2 points, I'm mad at you. You understand?
John gonna give him that. He's gonna give him that Julius Randle attitude. He's just gonna be like, "Don't touch me. Don't give me no."
But when you play a sport where it's just you can't be mad at you. You can only be mad at yourself. You can like I say that a lot. I play golf now, and I go out with guys, and guys, they be doing little tricks, dropping balls, and cheating and shit. I be like, yo, cheat all you want. You only cheating yourself. It's not a fucking team sport. You know what I'm saying? So when you really go play with caddies and people are actually taking your score and watching your score, everybody's gonna be wondering why you're not playing as good as you usually play when you keeping score. You know what I'm saying? And that's the difference in wanting to be great. I'm not. I can't lie to me. I can lie to anyone else. At times, even God. But I can't lie to myself. You know what I'm saying? And that's the point of wanting to be great and being great. You have to take the good with the bad and know how to humble yourself, know how to take self-criticism and be your best, self-critic. When players do that and they take that responsibility, take that accountability, they often become great players because they go off in the off season and they work on these things that they know they need work in. Bulk up. If it's my handle is not good enough, it might fucking I'm so mad at Russell Westbrook. I'm like, come on, Russ. If you know your jump shot ain't clicking like that, and that's what everybody's talking about, don't do nothing else during the offseason but take jump shots. That's it. That's it. And for me, sacrifice is nothing. I've been to prison, so sacrifice is nothing. To give up a small portion of your life or a small portion of whatever this is to you, time to be great at something in the long run, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Going to work out an hour a day to look like this when I'm 46 is fucking worth it. You know what I'm saying?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome everybody here to our new show. It's called Positivity Mentality with Ja Rule. Morning, bro. How you doing? Ja, I was about to run through walls, bro, but everybody would see me. I was like, yeah, I'm going to myself.
Yeah, real good motivational speaker. Like I've had a back injury for like the past year. You got me. I'm about to go run a full court just of the words that you just told me right now.
Let's go, man. Let's go. I'll come do it with you, baby. Let's go.
Let's do it, Ja.
So I know we got a couple minutes left, Ja, till you got to bounce. How you feeling about the Bucks game tonight? You think our Knicks have a chance against this Bucks team?
Yeah, I think we got a shot in hell. The Bucks is, man, beasting, man. And we don't play good enough defense. We're not going to stop Giannis. So he's probably going to have, 30, 40 tonight, easy. 10, 15 rebounds. It's going to be nasty.
Hector, what are you thinking?
Same thing. It's the NBA, so anybody has a chance on any given night. I'm a Knicks fan. I'm gonna be optimistic as most, but just like Josh said, if we can't stop Giannis, right, or if we over game plan too much and just focus on Giannis and no one else, we're gonna be out this game by 20 or 30 points. And Giannis, he's mad ever since that incident that happened in Philadelphia where they stopped him from shooting free throws. So he got a revenge game on everybody in the NBA.
Yeah.
Phil, what you thinking?
Giannis is the perfect example of what I was talking about, though, man. Every season he goes and works on whatever, like that passion to want to take those jump shots and those free throws that bad. Like, yo, get the fuck out of my way. You see what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
Come on,
and
man.
He goes to that Euro League,
I'd never
right?
trade him. I'll pay him whatever. Because I know that he's gonna work. He wants to be great, and that type of shit rubs off on other players. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, you're right. Yeah.
I think we're starting to see that a little bit with Brunson, right? He's bringing that energy, and these young guys are starting to see, like, wait. I mean, obviously, there's stuff that needs to be done to hand him the keys, to really lead. But I think he can have that mentality to show others, like, yo, I'm still gonna ball. I'm gonna do what I got to do, even though he didn't make those 2 shots, right? Those last 2 that we lost. He still wanted the ball, though. He's like, yo, my shot's going in. I'm playing. He wanted to be that dude. I think we just need to give him the keys to do so. Phil, what you think about Bucks tonight?
Yeah, it's crazy. Exactly what I was thinking. Foxy just put up. Giannis is going to score. We don't have someone that can stop Giannis. Like, we just don't. So we need to make sure, being that we tend to give out, like, it's been Christmas all season when it comes to games at the Garden. We've been giving people, records, that they can, hold, like game breaking, points for their team, season high, career high, league high. Like,
they do. Everybody comes to the Garden and does this to us, man. It's
exactly.
ridiculous,
Like,
man.
So if Santa stays home and we can like stop Grayson Allen from having like a 40 night, we could have a chance. But if we really think that like we're gonna leave the perimeter open and let Giannis have his way in the middle, then we're done. We need to make sure that we're not, gifting out players, career highs tonight, that we play hard. I want to see more of that like Grimes type defense all throughout the team, that Grimes Reddish type defense. This is the kind of team that we need to move with the ball. We are not going to get them ISO wise. You see, Randall or RJ trying to bully their way through Giannis. Like, that's just not going to happen. Like, you're running into a wall. Like, cut that out. So we need to figure out creative ways.
If you're listening, go get Dwight Howard.
Oh yeah, you see him in Thailand, Howard. Right?
Yo,
up in Thailand.
And he's gonna fucking give you a good defensive presence and rebound the ball, man. He's gonna do his job. That's it. He's gonna do his job, and he has a good work ethic. He'll get these young players. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you, man.
Yeah, but if you see. No, I was gonna say, if you see what he's doing in Thailand, he's looking like LeBron James and Magic Johnson at the same time over there, playing against guys that's like 6'8", 6'9". He's dominating.
He's dominant. He's fucking Dwight Chamberlain over there.
Yeah.
Yo, for real. Drew retweeted the other day talking about, I think every NBA player, when they're at the tail end of their career, just go to Thailand. You're gonna leave there feeling so good about yourself. You're gonna feel like you was Jordan. That's crazy.
But I think he still has a good amount left in his tank, yo, and he's like a better Dennis Rodman for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay. and the Knicks could use that kind of energy. He has a New York swag with him. You know what I'm saying? That's just, he's like, he has a Nick, like a Xavier McDaniel type. If he's not X, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? He's kind of, he just has a strong presence, and I think he'd fit in New York and with our dynamic and shit.
Yeah, off the bench, he could definitely give us a good solid 10 to 15 minutes off the bench over Isaiah Hartenstein in a heartbeat, guaranteed. Jesus Christ.
Worldwide said, let his ass stay over there in Thailand. He ain't want him over there.
Yo,
shout out,
what are they paying him in Taiwan? Like, come on, we can get him for cheap, man.
For real. I'll tell you, and listen, I mean, I know he's getting up there in age. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I got to meet him with the FCF when he was at the game last season. Yo, he's still moving like he's young. All right. So, I mean, I'm not on the let's bring him here train, but if he came over, it'd still be better.
I won't be upset. And like Will said, it's a business at the end of the day. Yeah, it's a business at the end of the day. Dwight Howard, just because he has that the amount of years in the league, you're gonna have to sign him to a minimum contract of 5 to 6, maybe 8 million, right? That's just how the CBA works out. And if you're a GM,
that's too much.
And if you're a GM and you get to weigh out, or you want Dwight Howard for 5 million or Isaiah Hartenstein for 3 million. And when you look at the luxury tax, they rather go with somebody who's cheaper just because it's a business at the end of the day.
Absolutely, yeah. That's a little too much. If I can get Dwight at like the league minimum, is that the league minimum 5 million? Is that it? I would take him at the league minimum and give him a shot, man. I think he'd play well for any team right now in the league. The Lakers should have fucking re-signed him.
Mm. Yeah, no, it's because depending on how many years you got in the league, you got two different tiers. You got the vet minimum, the mid minimum, and the low minimum.
That's what
it is. So it all depends. Yeah,
that's
what it is.
The vet minimum. They don't want to pay him that.
Yeah. Sometimes that's the way that they force certain players out of the NBA. They did it with Iverson. They did it with Carmelo Anthony. So that
because
it's
you're
it's a
right. You
business
start
at the
to
end
look
of the
at
day.
the numbers. It's like you said, you ain't playing for no longer than 10, 15 minutes a game. So I'm paying this guy $5 million to play him fucking 10 minutes. I can't do that. I can't do that. I need a guy that if I pay him that, I can up. I'm looking to up his minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? At some point, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking to fucking give him more minutes, not less. Yeah. So,
well, Dwight, you heard it here. Ja would sign to the Knicks. I wouldn't, but any other team.
No. After I did the business, that was a basketball decision. That was an eye decision. But once you do the business, it doesn't work, and that's what happens to a lot of these situations. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Listen, if we were to bring him over here, then we would never get Sims time ever. Even Fox in the chat. No Dwight. It's general.
No Dwight.
Man, well,
I just lost my GM cred. They took my GM card that quick.
You were doing so good.
That's how Knick fans are. That's how Knick fans are. 1 second they behind you, and 2 seconds they're like, you know what? I don't know what he's talking about.
I know, right?
The Dwight Howard. Oh hell no! Take his GM hat back.
We need shorter episodes, guys. For the sake of Ja, we need shorter episodes.
My bad.
Nah, all good, Ja.
Went from best GM for our future to questionable, all like that.
Yeah,
hey.
very questionable, very shaky move with that Dwight move, very shaky.
Oh man, well, Ja, I know we had you till 12, man. I appreciate you, homie, coming through and helping us.
Love, guys. This was fun, man. Anytime, man. We do it
Ja.
again anytime, man.
Yes, sir.
Definitely,
Appreciate you, John. I know we'll hook up soon, man. I appreciate everything.
For sure. My brothers.
Later. Peace, God.
My fellow DJs.
Yes, sir. Oh, you
Yo,
DJs,
we almost had a new job for Ja. He was about to be the new head front office man for us, and then we went too far.
The Dwight Howard to the Knicks. He lost the fans with the Dwight Howard. Thanks for Ja for coming through.
Real quick, before we jump into the next thing you guys got, there's something I wanted to address in this comment to my homie, the Smoking Nick.
I was waiting.
It's not an either or, my man. Just because I'm capping on Randall doesn't mean I ain't capping on RJ too. Like, both of them been sloppy. Randall played a good game. We said that in the beginning. I give my roses where it's due. Boost up that trade credit. RJ needs to change a lot. But when we were talking with Ja, it was about how coach makes Randall his guy. No one can watch a Knick game and deny that. So I'm not saying that RJ has not been sloppy. He has been.
Let's be real.
100%.
Listen, any Knicks fan, if there's any Knicks fan that can sit here and just say that RJ is playing amazing, they're full of crap or not watching Knicks basketball. Mm-hmm. We talked about it. If you're gonna play doo-doo, we're gonna call you out on it. We're gonna call you out when you're playing doo-doo.
Yeah.
RJ looks lost.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing worse than seeing him have a decent-ish game, because I honestly can't sit here and say that I've seen one that's been, there's the RJ. Not so far this season. I'm sorry, guys. There hasn't been a single game that I've been like, there it is. That's what I want. We've seen he could get it, but we're seeing more inconsistency than consistency at this point. So you're not going to get that on this channel where we're just like, oh my God, just RJ is amazing. He's the truth. Like, he's going to be here forever. Like, he's our savior. Not here. If you're not playing your game, you're not. And guys, the thing that scares me the most, I jumped in the Twitter Spaces last night where the New York Knicks Players Club, right? And Cash and them were in there. And something they brought up was, we thought we were going to lose already tonight. Right? Most people think, obviously, right? We lost last time by 18. It's the Bucks, whatever. But then they were like, no one's thinking about the fact it was his birthday yesterday. And they all out partying yesterday. How bad are we going to lose tonight if these boys were celebrating?
Oh, God.
A win against the
on a
Pistons?
back-to-back.
Oh, man.
The only thing I could say, right? Shout out to Savage NYC in the chat. The only thing I could really say when it comes to RJ's game last night, he had no turnovers. That's the only thing that I can point to that. No, yeah, that's something that I can lay my hat on and be like, you know what, I'm happy about that. But just like my bro Worldwide L said, I can't even defend RJ right now because we can't. There's no defending it, right? There's no defending it, right? So when we talk about Julius Randle, guarantee we're gonna have the smoke for RJ Barrett, right? But just we pointed out at the beginning of the show, it was a good game from Julius, right? This is what you want to see from Julius. Keep having these games, build up your trade value so we can send you off so you can actually showcase your talents on another team, not on a team that's in the middle, right? Because Julius Randle needs to be in that right situation in order for him to strive. Over here with the Knicks, it's not going to work. This is not the right situation for him. Like I've said several times, he'll probably work better in Miami, right? Having somebody in his ear like Eric Spoelstra, right? Like the guys like Jimmy Butler, someone in his ear pushing him. Over here in New York, being coddled by Tom Thibodeau is not the way that you're going to get the best out of Julius Randle.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad you brought that one up, Phil, and comment on it. But you know what? I see Trippy, what do you say? No more defending RJ. Step up or he will be a trade piece real soon because Cam and Grimes are here to make a splash. We need RJ to understand that and lock in. 100%.
Absolutely.
How much
Put
easier
that on a
would it
t-shirt.
be? And again, we never like to – I can't give credit right now to the front office, Tibbs, period, right? We talk about that. I'm not going to harp on it for this episode. But, I mean, for any front office, if the guy you just signed gave that extension to – you know what I'm saying? Like, it's supposed to be your answer, and he's playing the way he is, it has to make their job even more difficult to look at trade pieces, look at stuff, right? Because now you're still trying to figure out, are you even a piece for us? Mm-hmm. So it's like if he don't work it out, we're going to be dealing with this crap all season, guys. I mean, he needs to wake up.
So that was a downside. That was a downside of yesterday. Before Ja came in, we were talking about upsides. For me, my one upside was Grimes. Like, honestly, I know that there's this weird, which is weird because I'm a Knicks fan, like for the team, like through and through, I want our team to be good. I know right now there's like these things called hives on Twitter where it's like, oh, you're part of the Cam hive, you're part of the, Grimes hive, and you pick and choose who you think needs to be, shining. I don't really care. If you shine and we're winning, that's what matters to me. But Grimes last night, 85% on field goals, 75% on three-pointers, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals in his 27 minutes of play. Like, that was an impressive game for me on Grimes. And I want a consistency with that because we've been talking about needing to see him step up offensively because we've seen the hustle defensively. We said his legs looked heavy underneath him. He looked light as a feather last night shooting that 3 and driving to the basket. So I'm hoping we see more of that today because that junk was impressive to watch. So that was my highlight of last night. What about you guys?
Like I said, RJ not getting that one turnover for me is the highlight from last night. Go ahead, so my fault for cutting you off, bro.
No. I was gonna say, I don't want to get too excited for Grimes. So you know how I am, right? Like, I'm high on him. I like him. I just feel like yesterday it's almost like he listened to Ron and John the other night when John was giving his take about, hey, you need to, straighten your body a little bit, line yourself up with the hoop because you've got a beautiful shot, but you're always leaning forward or back. So I felt like he was, oh shit, you know what? John's right. Maybe I should stand up a little bit, something. So yeah, it was nice to see them go in. Anytime I see any of our young guys actually do something positive and get time to shine, I'm going to be happy for that.
Yeah.
Right. It's just, I feel like no matter what good we see in one game, it's not going to matter the next game because, again, back to the rotations, back to who's getting where. Right. I mean, even yesterday, like in the beginning of the game, I'm a Cam fan, right? I think Cam's a good player. I think he could do a lot for this team. But he saw everybody else shooting threes, and he was like, I'm going to try. And was like, what? His first 3 shots, 3-pointers that were not going in. It's like, focus on your game, bro. When you go to the rim, that's where you're solid. We want to see that. We don't need another guy out there trying to be a 3-pointer guy if you're not a 3-pointer guy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And just like Jay Boogie said in the chat, I want to bring this up real quick. Great show. Appreciate Ja Rule rocking with the underground. That's what makes the real ones do. Show love inside a community. Salute, 3 capital S's, orange and blue all day. You know, I can't do it like Jay Boogie because Jay Boogie, you know, he drops them gems on us.
Yo, I'll tell y'all now in the chat, if y'all haven't checked out Jay Boogie's track, come on now, you need to go check that out. The video's fire.
Yeah,
check it out. I know I retweeted it as well. It's on Jay Boogie's Twitter. Check that out. Back to last night's game. I'll tell you, I wasn't upset with Mitch last night again. I feel like that's maybe like 2-3 games in a row. I'm like, okay, Mitch doing a little something, right? With 13 rebounds.
Yeah,
6.
Yeah, that was
6 points, right? But I'm okay with him. Just give me 6 points, not shooting much. Give me that. So I wasn't too mad. I was mad at the fact that why are we up 30 points and this man is sitting or still playing with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. I don't understand. The downside for me was Sims not playing till the last few minutes. Like, I still don't understand like what is going on. Like, we are with a coach who preaches nonstop about like earning your spot, and all the minutes that Sims has had this season, he has earned minutes. Like, he has proven that he can be a force off the bench. And I'm not going to knock Hartenstein because this was the first time that his, offensive game wasn't atrocious in weeks. He played well offensively, but defensively, I still think we are shooting ourselves in the foot, not giving Sims time. Like, it does not make sense to me. So yes. I hope we see Sims today because he is one of the only people I think that can put a body on Giannis tonight. And I think we need to use that.
Yeah, 100%. Jericho Sims, he needs to be out there more. Let me see what Foxy has taken, and then we can dip out.
We should take him during the draft. Yep, and save the 60 mil.
You absolutely right, Foxy. He said it right off my tongue. I can. Jalen Durant looked like a beast last night, even though it was in limited time. He definitely looked good. And shout out to Kevin Knox also. Revitalizing his NBA career because everybody thought that he was going to the shadow realm, signing with the Pistons, but he's still showing that he probably has a little bit left to the tank.
Ariel in the chat. I think we need to follow his lead here. We should get everybody to start doing a hashtag free Jericho. Hashtag free Jericho. You know what? Let's make it a shirt. You know what, Phil? Let's call it homage. Last time we will buy it if they'll make it. We want a free Jericho hashtag shirt. That's it. Yeah. That's the tweet.
I want to give a quick shout out to the chat real quick. NY Originals, first time seeing me in the chat. Salute. Hope all is well. Thank you for tuning in.
Several times.
Okay. My mistake. He said Tibbs and Reno have to go. He doesn't know how to develop young talent and is going to destroy RJ Barrett quickly and et cetera. I agree. Definitely agree with that. Yeah.
Oh, look, Ariel dropped it in there. It's official. Hashtag free Jericho.
Free Jericho, baby.
Free Jericho.
Let's do it.
And then Worldwide L dropping gems. I'm sorry, I keep clicking on it. Mitch could a whole lot better if he doesn't have to clean up for the guards, keep getting beat off the dribble. 100%. We've said this so many different times. It hurts Mitchell Robinson when he has to clean up other people's mistakes, right? Because it looks like it's Mitchell Robinson's fault. When in reality, if his teammate doesn't lose his defender, Mitchell Robinson is not getting into foul trouble. Mitchell Robinson is not leaving down low wide open. And Mitchell Robinson, if he's not running out to the three-point line trying to contest the shot, his defensive rebounds will probably be a lot better than what it is right now.
I think that's a lot on us, though, as fans and announcers, because when we first saw him jump out to the three-point line and block, we were all like, oh, my gosh, this guy can even defend the three-point line. And now he's like, yo, people love this, and that became something that he does now. But that shouldn't be what he does. Like, if our player gets beat on the three-point line, let that person get beat. Because every time he jumps out, they're getting the easy pass and easy bucket to the paint. And I think that that's going to continue to hurt us more than allowing that less of a chance of them hitting a three-pointer than an easy two underneath. So I blame a lot of us fans and announcers for praising that so much when he did it.
100% agree.
Fox's take. Ooh, Mitch just started getting Merlin's hands. Ooh. Like I would actually hit right here a little bit. Like I felt like, okay, well, we found the comment to end the show on. That one.
Yeah, exactly. Because L just said he got to run. Yo, L, later, bro. Appreciate you for stopping by. Shout out to everybody in the chat who stopped by. Uncle Foxy, my man Ariel from VSN Network, the guy Trippy OG from VSN, my man Chris the Flash as well, Sir Pizza, NY Originals. We had For the Love of the Game was in the building. Jay Boogie was in the building. Thanks for everybody who came by. Savage NYC, the Hillside Homie. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. This has been another great episode of the Knicks Morning Brew. Make sure you guys tune in this Friday. We're having Ron and John on from Still Knicks Fans. It's going to be a great conversation with my guys, Ron and John. I can't wait for that. Any last word from the bros, Jig and Phil? Any last words, my guys?
Yeah, just look for us on Twitter and on Instagram. We got that giveaway going with Homage and Playbook. And trust me, the merch and the mugs and all that stuff is incredible. We want to support brands that support us and support the Knicks. So please follow along and get your submissions in, because we got about 2 weeks until the winner is announced. And like always, thank you guys for your support. It means the world to us.
Definitely. Celso, any last words, bro?
Hit those likes. I appreciate the chat, everything you guys doing. Ja, shout out, man. Appreciate you coming through, hanging out. Loved having you on the show. And again, just like what Phil said, man, we do this. We love covering our Knicks. We love putting content together. We love the community. Tell a friend, share it, like, subscribe, hit the like button, all that good stuff. Man, let's just hope we don't get beat by 40 tonight. All right. That's it. And let's go start the hashtag Free Jericho. I'm putting it out right now on Twitter. Hashtag Free Jericho. And guys, check out the links. Go hook it up. Use the code Knicks Morning Brew. You put that code in there, little discount, everything. Just go. Just do it. Love it. Peace. Do that outro thing.
Play that commercial before we dip out.
Oh.
What it do, Nick Nation? What it do? KOD Universe, stand up. And all you DJs, wake up and get your coffee.
I'ma slam on these goats like I'm John Starks. I'ma slam on these goats like I'm John Starks. I'ma slam on these goats like I'm John Starks. I'ma slam on these goats like I'm John Starks.